You know, today is a day we celebrate the Universal Declaration, but I think we will all agree that we don't need any more declarations. So I'm not here to make any grand declaration of my own, but I want to actually open up this beautiful circle that we're sitting at and dive right into the next generation of debates about human rights, which is about moving from declaration to practice and to enforceability. The 2048 project really has a two-pronged mission. One is the drafting of a legally enforceable human rights document. As Professor Desaya said, it is a form of it's sort of a restatement, if you like, of the international bill that we already have, but at the same time, it's an utter sort of overhaul and upgrade, sort of human rights 2.0, if you will, of our old declarations, and it's going to be the new social contract that we'll all live by. And so that's one part of our mission. The second part is to encourage human rights education worldwide. I mean, that's what we're doing today, and it's about understanding our human rights heritage, understanding what has happened up until now, you know, in the human rights world, but also understand how we failed and how we have fallen short of the sort of lofty goals put forward by the United Nations and also the drafters of the Universal Declaration. So I have a theory that I was trying to understand this phenomenon that's emerged in the last few years of social networking and you know, these online networks that are building at increasingly rapid rates, you know, the Facebooks and the Twitters and all that. And my theory is that we need a social network as a precursor to having a social contract. So for the first time in history, we have the tools and the means which would have been unheard of just a few decades ago, of registering our desires and our rights, and what we want and how we want to live, and coming together on the internet, but also sort of more of a meeting of minds rather than anything else. It's a chance, it's an unbelievable historical chance for us to engage in a discussion about what this social contract will be. And that's, in a nutshell, what 2048 is. And 2048, I'll repeat it again in case you don't know, is the 100th anniversary of the Universal Declaration. So it's more of a symbolic date. And a lot of people ask, why 2048? Why do we have to wait so long? I also think that, you know, if we don't set some sort of a deadline, we may not see the realization of rights in the next 100 or 200 or even more years. So 2048 is actually a pretty reasonable goal, and it's not to say that we don't have a lot to achieve in the meantime, right? Just next year, in March in 2011, we're going to have a preparatory conference right across the way here at the United Nations in Geneva. It's going to be held in the same room as, you know, where the Universal Declaration was drafted, I believe, room 8. And this is in the run-up to official drafting conferences that we're going to be holding in 2012 and 2013, where 72 people that we will select from around the world, a representative group. That's very important because for the first time also, we want to make sure that this is a very inclusive process. We're going to come together and draft this document. But the role that you have to play is also as important, and you have an equal say in this process. So we want to inaugurate this process today. We've actually sort of already started it on our website, and I believe later we're going to pull it up for you so you can see how we're using the devices of the web, to make this a reality. So essentially, your comments that you will make to this document and the comments that you make today in discussion with us, these will be incorporated into our official drafting process. So everything you say, every word you add or would like to remove, eventually these ideas will be all put on the table for the drafters who will come together in a couple of years. But the preparatory conference will also be a chance to evaluate everything that has been shared, all the comments that we've amassed on the web. And I see a lot of you have laptops already out, so maybe you could pull up our website. It's 2048.berkeley.edu. And this is a really exciting time in history, and I hope you will take this responsibility seriously, because at this point in time, if human rights are not enforced, it's our fault. And we have the means to make our voice heard, and let's use this freedom of expression that's supposedly been given to us. What good is freedom of expression unless we could put it to some practical use? You know, UC Berkeley is known as the birthplace of the free speech movement. And I like to think that the 2048 project, which has also emerged from the Berkeley campus, is a continuation of that movement. It is a way of taking our freedom of speech and turning it into something amazing, expressing how we want to live, expressing our legitimate sort of needs and rights and responsibilities. That's what we would like to facilitate. But otherwise, the responsibility lies in your hands, and it's a communal process. And I think that it's quite fitting that we're sitting in this room together. I'm very happy about the space that was chosen for today's Human Rights Day celebration, because it embodies and sort of symbolizes this equal process where everyone is on an equal playing field and everyone's ideas and input are weighed equally. So thank you so much for being here, and let's have a wonderful sort of celebratory conference today to not only honor what has been done in the past for human rights, but to celebrate what is to come. So thank you very much, and let's get right into a question and answer session, and also we're going to be doing an overview of the website that you can follow along. Thank you.